on the hook for part 1 of the dishcloth. I am so glad that you're here, and if you want to get your hook, your yarn, and meet me over the craft table, we'll go ahead and get started. Alright, so here are the things that we're going to need. You're going to need your skein of yarn that you've chosen to do. You're going to need your J 6mm hook. Try and get that to, okay. And I'm going to use the same type of hook, but I'm just going to use the Ergonomic type hook. And then you need your scissors and a yarn needle. We will not need the scissors and the yarn needle today, so we're going to go ahead and just take these and put them out of the way. And real quick, I'm going to show you the dishcloth that I have made up so far. So at the end of today, this is what our dishcloth is going to currently look like. Okay? And this is your beginning end here with your little tail. All right? So let's get started. I'm going to move these out of the way. And the first thing is you can either start your yarn from the outside end or from the inside in. And I like doing the inside in because it doesn't seem to tangle. So I'm just going to pull what we call the guts out and just going to look for that beginning yarn. And I believe that's it right there. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a chain. All right. So we've got to first get the yarn onto the hook. So I'm just going to make a circle and just reach in and grab your yarn and then pull it. Okay, I'll show you one more time. And you want to make sure you leave enough of a tail that you can weave it in when your project is done. All right, so you're going to make a circle and you're going to go in and you're going to grab your yarn and you're going to pull it. And then just tighten it on the chain, on the hook, I mean. All right. Now, again, I'm doing this for anyone who is a beginner who is wanting to learn, but we're going to make a chain. And the way you make a chain is you wrap the yarn around your hook and you pull it through the loop. Now, this first loop that's on your hook that you've attached your yarn to the hook with does not count in your beginning chain foundation. So it does not count. So we're going to do 26 chains, okay? So this one doesn't count. So this is 1. And again, you grab the yarn and pull it through. 2. Wrap the yarn around and pull it through again is 3. Wrap the yarn around again and pull it through is 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. Now I'm going to show you something. This is our chain so far of 7 chains. Now there is a thing known as tension, and it is important because the type of tension that you have on your yarn will also determine the outcome of your project. So for example, this would be considered a medium to a tight tension, okay? If your tension is loose, meaning you wrap your yarn and pull it through, and you pull it way through, that's loose tension. Let's do another one. See how loose that is? And then even if you just pull it through just a little bit, now let's go back and look. See the difference in our tension? See how this is nice and kind of smooth? And then look how big that is. So you kind of want your tension to be tight. So if you have to, just practice a little bit, okay? All right, so let's attach our yarn to our hook again. So we'll make our and now let's do our chains. We're going to chain 26. Remember, this one does not count. So after you've practiced a while, and you've got your tension down, go ahead and chain 26 chains. So 1, 2, wrap it around, pull through, 3, wrap it around, pull through, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 26. And you have a chain of 26. Okay? All right, another thing I'm going to tell you. A lot of people say the proper way to hold a crochet hook is like a pencil. Okay? And so you have to figure out what works best for you. There's also some that hold it like a knife, and that is how I hold mine. That is what's comfortable for me. So you just have to figure out which way is good for you. I can do both, but it is more comfortable for me to do it like a knife. All right, so let's put our chain back on the hook. All right, so now we're going to make our crochet dishcloth 25 chains across. Now you're probably saying, but you had us do 26 chains. Remember, this one doesn't count. The one that attaches the yarn to the hook does not count. So if we look at it, okay, remember this one's on the hook. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 26. All right. So I'm going to teach you how to do this dishcloth doing a single crochet. So we're going to do the entire dishcloth in single crochets. That is the easiest stitch in the crochet. All right. Now, to make our rows rise, we have to add a stitch, so to speak, so that it will gain height. So this first chain right here is going to count as what would be considered a chain 1. So we're going to actually start single crocheting in the second chain from the hook. So if we do that, then that's going to give us the 25 single crochets going across. Now, this is what's called a chain foundation, okay? So when we do this, we're going to actually insert our hook in the very top loop. Now, if you look at the chain, okay, let me get my yarn needle. It might be easier to see it that way. If you look at the chain, we'll come down here. You've got this top loop right here. You've got this middle loop right here. And you have this bottom loop right here. So you have what looks like 3 loops, 1, 2, 3, in that one loop, okay? You're going to go into just the top loop so that there's 2 loops that'll be under your hook. So let's put this back on. And going into, we're going to skip this first one and go into the second one. We're going to put our hook into that very top loop, okay? And now that's going to give us 2 loops on our hook. We're going to then yarn over, and we're going to pull through both of those loops. So now we're going to go into this next chain. And again, we're going to go into just the top loop, and we're going to yarn over, and we're going to pull through both of those 2 loops. Okay? So we're going to go into the next one, into that top loop only. That gives us 1, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, and pull through both loops. Now, especially when you're beginning, it's very hard to do the foundation because there's nothing to really hold on to. Okay? So you just have to get it to where you're comfortable holding it, okay? But as you practice and as you do more, it will become, you know, a little bit easier and a lot more comfortable for you. So just take your time and practice. Don't let it overwhelm you, okay? Because I want you to enjoy what you're doing. All right, so let's go into the next one. And we're going in just that top loop only. And again, it gives us 2 loops on the hook. We're going to yarn over, and we're going to pull through both loops. Go to the next one, insert your hook in the top loop. You've got 1, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, and pull through both of those loops. All right, go to the next chain, insert your hook in the top loop only, 1, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, and pull through. Okay, this is what your chain is now starting to look like. All right, go to the next one. Put your hook in the top loop only. You've got your 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through. And we're going to do this all the way to the end of the row. And as you're doing it, if your stitches are loose, for example, let's look at one. If I insert my hook and I yarn over and I pull up that loop really loose, see, there's a difference. All right, all you got to do is just pull and tighten it down. And that's usually what I do. After I insert my hook, yarn over and pull through, and then I yarn over and pull through both. I usually give my yarn a little bit of a tug. I'm what they would consider, with my tension on most things that I do, my tension is usually pretty tight. I do not feel comfortable with a loose tension. Some people prefer a looser tension. So you just have to find what works for you. There's no right or wrong. Sometimes the tighter the tension, the better your project comes out looking, okay? And see, you can see right here where my tension was nice and tight, and then over here I did a little bit looser. So you can see the difference, okay? All right, so we're down to the very last one, and sometimes this can be really tricky, okay? Because it may not even look like a stitch, but it is. So you're going to do the same thing. You're going to insert your hook into that top loop only, yarn over and pull through, and then you're going to yarn over and pull through too. All right, and then I just take and I just tighten everything down. Just pull on both if you have to until you get everything nice and tight. And you've completed your first row. All right, now I purposely did those a little bit looser so you can see the difference in the tension. Okay. All right. So now what we're going to do is we want to increase the height to the next row. So we're going to chain one, and to do that we're simply going to yarn over and pull through that loop, and we have chained one. Now we're going to turn our work over so we can go back across. All right, now this time we have completed our foundation row. So this time, and you can really see right here the difference between the loose tension and the more tighter tension. Okay, and I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, so I'm going to actually pause this and I'm going to fix that real quick. Okay, so I have my 25 redone, and yes, I am a perfectionist. I've been doing this for a long time. Yours may not be as nice and tight because you're just now starting out and learning, but do not let that frustrate you. This is your first project. Remember, if you go back and watch my introduction video, I told you how my blanket ended up having an extremely wide end and did not match the beginning part of the blanket. One end was nice and small, and the other end was really large and wide because I made a lot of mistakes. Be proud of whatever you do because it's a beginning process. We cannot do it perfect and right from the very get-go. It takes practice. So do not let yourself be deterred or frustrated, okay? All right. And whatever it turns out looking like, even if it's not a perfect square, be proud of it and wash your dishes with it anyway, because you made it, okay? And I'm giving you A for effort for trying. All right, so we're back at the end, and I had you chain one, and again you do that again by wrapping the yarn and pulling it through the loop that was on your hook, and this is going to give you the height to go into your next row. Okay, see that height there already? All right, so we're going to turn our work so we can come back down this way. And this is another reason that I wanted to tighten it up for you so that you can see the stitches a lot easier, okay? All right, now, if you look on the top part of these stitches, it looks like what looks like a V. And let me see if I can zoom that in a little bit. Let's see. But see how they kind of make like a V? Okay. That's the top of your stitch. Now on the foundation row, I had you go in the top loop only, all right? That has a lot to do with later on when we go to put a border on here. It'll be easier for us to go in here through the 2 stitches, on the bottom than it would have been just the 1. And plus, it would have kind of pulled your work away from the rest of it and made it have kind of like a sloppy look. So that's why I had you do that. But going forward now, we're going to go under the top 2 loops, which are these V's that you see. See that first one and the second one and the third one and the fourth one? Okay, see those V's? We're going to go under both. So because this is a single crochet, we're going to go into this very first stitch. We're not going to skip any. So we're going to go in and we're going to go under both those loops. Okay, and we're going to yarn over and we're going to pull through. And just like on our foundation row, we have 2 loops on our hook. Okay, we're going to yarn over again and pull through both those loops. Then we're going to go to the second one and we're going to insert our hook and we're going to put it under both of the loops that form the V. Can you see that? We're going to yarn over and pull through. We have 2 loops on the hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through both of those. Going to the next one, we're going to insert our hook under both those top 2 loops. Yarn over and pull through. We've got 2 loops on our hook. And we're going to yarn over and pull through both of those. Insert our hook again under the top 2 loops. Again, see those? Forming that V. And we're going to yarn over and pull through. We have 2 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through 2. And again, I always tighten mine down afterwards. We're going to insert our hook between those top 2 loops. And we're going to pull through. And we're going to pull through those 2 loops. Insert your hook into the next. Yarn over, pull through. Got 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through those 2 loops. Insert your hook into the next one. Again, under the 2 loops on the top. Yarn over and pull through. Yarn over and pull through both loops. Insert your hook into the next one. Again, under the top 2 loops there that form the V. Yarn over and pull through. You have 2 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through 2. So I'm going to let you go ahead and finish up the rest of that row, and I'll meet you at this very last one, okay? All right, so we're at the end of this row. We have 1 stitch left, okay? And I'm going to try and help you not make the same errors I did when I was first learning. Sometimes not only would I add an extra stitch on to the end, but I would forget or I wouldn't realize that this was the last stitch and I would skip it. So then my projects would really be wonky, especially my dishcloth since I was starting out. Of course, I started out knitting them, but when I did start crocheting them, I would sometimes forget this last stitch. And if you're not certain, especially while you're learning, it doesn't hurt as you make each stitch to count so that you know that you're ending up with 25, okay? Because that last stitch can look kind of, different and may not even look like a stitch, but it is. So just like the rest, you want to go in under those top 2 stitches, and sometimes it's easier to turn your hook and kind of go into them that way so that you make sure you get them, because see, doing that I only got 1. I'm missing this one right here. All right, so I've got to make sure I'm going under both just like I did with the other ones. So now I've got both of them on my hook, see? And so I'm going to yarn over just like I did before and pull through and just wiggle it through. All right. And I have 2 loops on the hook just like I have been. And I'm going to yarn over and pull through. And that now completes my second row. All right. So we're starting to come together. So we're going to chain 1 to increase the height for the next row. And you do that again by yarning over and pulling through the loop on your hook. And see how it's giving you the height for your next row. Okay. Turn your work over. All right. And I like to kind of keep stretching mine out so I make sure that I'm doing it and it's not turning or twisting on me and I'm, doing it upside down. All right. So we're going to, just like before, insert our hook under those top 2 loops, the V. And then we're going to yarn over and pull up 2 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through both of those. And as you're going, you can almost start to see these little holes that appear. And that makes it a little bit easier for you. Can you start to see those? Let's see. Sorry, this way. See those holes? All right. And of course, the bigger the hook, the bigger the stitches. The smaller the hook, the smaller the stitches. The smaller the stitches, the more you have to do to increase the height of whatever project you're doing. The bigger the stitches, you can get there faster. So, all right, so we're going to insert our hook. And again, we've got our 2 stitches on top. See those? And we're going to yarn over. And we're going to pull through those 2. Going to insert our hook under those top 2 stitches again. Yarn over and pull through. We got 2 loops on the hook. And yarn over and pull through. Insert under the 2 stitches, or loops, excuse me. Yarn over and pull through. And then yarn over and pull through those 2. Insert your hook under the 2 loops, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through both loops on the hook. Insert your hook into the next one under the top 2 loops, yarn over and pull through the 2 loops. Insert your hook underneath those top 2 loops, yarn over and pull through. Got 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through. Insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through both loops. This is really a pretty color. I can see why they called it love. And it matches my hook. How about that? That was not planned. All right, so go ahead and finish up all the way to the end here, and I'll meet you at the end at that last stitch again, okay? All right, so we've gotten to the last stitch. And now the further we go, you'll see how it's starting to look like a stitch. So it doesn't look as wonky as it did on that first row. So you can see it a little bit better. So we're going to do like we've always done, insert our hook under those top 2 loops. And again, you see your V-stitch there. And you're going to yarn over, pull through. You've got your 2 loops on the hook. And when you've got the 2 loops on the hook, you can see how it is creating that straight line, so that straight edge, okay? So that also kind of helps you realize that you've got the very last stitch, okay? and then you yarn over and pull through both those loops. So you've now completed your third row, okay? And we're going to go ahead and start the fourth row. So once again, we're going to yarn over and pull through for a chain 1 to increase the height for our next row. And we're going to turn. And again, you can see now how those stitches are really starting to show up for you. And you can see those holes so much better, making it easy. Plus, you now have something to hold on to while you're working. So that should be making it easier as well. So we're going to insert our hook, pull through, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through both loops. Insert our hook under those 2 stitches that make the V, yarn over, pull through, got 2 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through the 2. So let's do a couple more of these together. All right, so again, go ahead and finish up this row and I'll meet you at the end and we'll go over one more time the stitch on the end. All right, so we're once again at the end of the row. And again, as you can see the row starting to come up, you can see that end stitch a lot easier. But again, as you're learning, make sure you maybe count as you're making each stitch so that you're also making sure that you're maintaining 25 stitches across, okay? So that way you're not doing one less than you should or one more than you should. And so once again, we insert our hook under those top 2 loops, yarn over, pull up a loop, got 2 on the hook, yarn over, and pull through both, okay? To increase to our next row, we're going to yarn over, pull through, which is called a chain 1. We're going to turn, and we're going to do the same thing across, and we're going to do this for a total of 30 rows. So you're now starting row 5. So you're going to keep going. Remember, maintaining 25 across, and you're going to go until you have a complete 30 rows in your dishcloth. Now, especially when you're first starting out, it sometimes may be difficult to remember what row you're on. It's always good to get a yarn counter or a crochet counter of some kind, and I'll show you what mine looks like. So let me pause this and I will show you mine. And this is what mine looks like. So you can increase your stitches. Let's see. Or your rows, excuse me, by just pushing the button and counting up. And then just clear it. And this one has a cute little strap, so I can actually wear it on my finger if I want. And as I'm going along, I'm like, we're on row 5 at the moment. So I can just do that. Of course, you don't have to wear it. And then that very last one. And then do my chain 1 and turn, and then go to row 6. I'll take this off so you can see it better. So see? And there's all different kinds of versions of these little stitch counters or row counters. And they go pretty high. So, all right. So you're just going to continue on with row 6 now, and you're going to do a total of 30 rows. And so I will meet up with you when we get 30 rows done. All right? Happy crocheting. Okay, so we've reached the end. We have reached our 30 rows. Okay. And so this is what our dishcloth looks like. So we have shaped the body of our dishcloth. So next week when we come together, we are going to finish this by adding a border around it. Now, until then, we want to make sure that our yarn doesn't come loose. So we need to close it off with some type of stitch marker to ensure that it doesn't get pulled out, so we have to redo it. Well, there's very different types of stitch markers that you can use. I was actually trying to find the old ones that I used to use that I thought were so nifty back in the day, but I honestly cannot find them. I had actually put them away to give to someone, and so we've been doing some renovations, so I'm not really sure at the moment where those are at. But I will show you the ones that I have that I use today, and I actually have a combination of them. So this is an example of some stitch markers, and they come in different sizes. It looks just like a little safety pin. That's a small one. This is another small one. And then they get to where they have a bigger size. And again, these are some that I also used back in the day. And I use these more than the other ones that I can't find, because the other ones I can't find are like a little circle ring, and they're made of rubber or hard plastic, because I have a combination of two, but it's just a little ring and you pop the pieces together. They didn't hold very, very well. All right, and then I have these, and as you can tell, they're different sizes, so depending on your project. And I still use these a lot, especially when I'm making baby blankets and Afghans, my bigger projects. Rugs, which I've not actually made a rug yet, but that is one thing that I'm hoping to do with you. And now they're coming out with these types of stitch markers. They're very pretty. Like this one is from Leither Co. And I don't know if you can see that or not, but that's like Cinderella's carriage. This is a Crochet Society one that says Hooked. It's another one by Leither Co. This one's just a leaf. And this one is another Leither Co. one of a planet. I have an angel that I'm currently using. And I have a couple others that I haven't unboxed yet. I've opened the boxes, I just haven't taken the stitch markers out. And then you don't even have to be fancy, because honestly, the very first stitch marker that I ever used, and I still sometimes will use, is just your simple, basic safety pin. And this was the very first stitch marker I ever used. This is what I held my work together with. Just a simple little diaper pin. So what you do, and I'm actually just going to use one of these just to show you. And since there's some purple and pink in our project, let's just go ahead and we will use the purple. Not that you even have to color code, but I'm sure I have some friends right now that are laughing over this, that I picked something to color code. So you just want to slide it into the loop, okay? And as you can tell, if I pull on it, it's going to still move. So after you slide it into the loop, you then want to just secure it somewhere close on the project and just go through one of the holes. You don't want to, pull apart any of your yarn because then you might have like a scraggly thread that will stick out. And then just simply close it off. And when you've done that, now if you pull, it's not coming out. It's secured. And that'll keep it from pulling apart or unraveling until next time. So I look forward to next time with you as we put the border on our dishcloth and we complete it. Well, I hope you had fun working on this dishcloth. Again, remember that for some of you, you are just beginning. Do not let it become frustrating. Take your time. This video will be up to be able to be watched at your leisure. And if you have any questions or comments, please be sure to leave them in the comment box. I will check those. I will reply to your questions as soon as I can and as quickly as I can. And I've also included in the description box my email, so you can reach out to me that way or by Facebook. But I will be checking the comments. So I hope you have fun making this dishcloth. I hope you have fun for those of you that are starting out and learning crochet. Crocheting is a passion of mine. It is something I love. It is something I'm excited about sharing with you. So no question is ever too silly or too dumb. Please ask. That's the whole reason that I'm even doing this, is to help spread this passion and this calmness and this relaxing art. So ask your questions and let me help you. Let me guide you. All right. Well, if you like this video and you had fun, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't hit the subscribe button and then gone over and hit the bell to receive all my videos, do so you don't miss part 2 of this and so you don't miss any of the other future videos. And until we meet again, keep something on your hook, stay crafty in your own way, and I'll see you soon. Bye!